All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Did That Age Well, the podcast where we recap and review movies from the past and talk about how they hold up. I am your host, Molly Smith. And before we get into today's episode, I have exciting personal news to share that probably is irrelevant to most of you. But I have a special shout out that I think will be relevant to many of you, which is I'm moving. Oh my God. But I'm only moving to the other end of town. Don't worry. I'm not moving out of Denver. I'm actually moving closer to the studio. I didn't pick the place because it was close to the studio, but it happens to be, which is very convenient. Anyways, moving, as I've been talking on this podcast about how stressful moving is in an abstract way from my past experiences years ago. But guess what? Right now, I'm getting ready to actually move, and it's so stressful. There are words like appraisal, inspection, things that I didn't know about before like 2 months ago. And trying to deal with all that and figuring out how I'm going to pack up all of my stuff, how I'm going to actually go through all of my things and have to part with, I don't know, like my third grade homework. These are things that keep me up at night. However, one thing that's going to make this process so much easier is I'm hiring Spider Moving Services. They are the best. They are world-class professionals. They are going to make it look so much easier than if I tried to bribe my friends with beer and pizza to get them to move my heavy stuff. I'm just so relieved. They do residential and commercial moving. So for my situation, obviously residential, but if you're looking to move across the country or even just to the other end of town like I am, I couldn't recommend them enough. I can't wait to come back here in a few weeks if I actually do close on this house, which at this point I feel like I need to kind of knock on wood just in case. But I can't wait to come back here in a few weeks and tell you guys how great of a job they did. If you are planning to move now or anytime in the future, I highly recommend check out spidermoving.com for a free quote and also give them a little follow on Instagram at Spider Moving Services. Thank you guys so much for supporting Dude IDK and in turn supporting Did That Age Well. Okay, enough about me and my house. But you can wish me congratulations if you want in the comments. I am so excited today. Oh, it's been long overdue. Today, I am welcoming Ren Q to the pod. Hello.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
Oh
Congratulations on moving.
Oh my gosh,
also, congratulations to
thank you.
Dude IDK for moving. This is the first time I've been in the studio since it
Yeah,
changed
speaking of
spots, so,
moving,
very exciting. Yeah,
Here we are.
beautiful. Love it here.
Me too.
Yes.
Okay, Ren, where have you been peeing lately?
Where have we been peeing lately? All over, I tell
Great.
you.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so, right, currently on 50 state tour, and it is called Here to Pee, a theme. And, right, we're peeing in and performing in all 50 states, raising funds for LGBTQ nonprofits. It's all trans
Awesome.
folks on the lineup, which is the first time that's ever happened in history, apparently, which
Yeah.
is really cool. And we are halfway through, so we are 27 states deep.
Wow.
Plus
More than halfway?
More than halfway, plus DC, which isn't a state, but
That's-
should
yeah.
be. And I stand by
Totally.
that.
Are you going to go to Puerto Rico? Not a state? but a
No,
territory?
I want to though. I would really like to.
That
I
would-
mean, hey, if we're
Hey,
gonna,
if anyone wants to pay to get Ren
What's
to
up? What's up,
Puerto Rico, if you own a comedy club in PR,
you don't need to pay me. I'll just go. I
Yeah.
like straight up. No, if you have if there's a comedy club in Puerto Rico, baby, I will totally come.
you'll find Ren on the beach.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Telling some jokes.
That's right. I love Denver has a wonderful Spanish comedy scene as well
Yes.
here, and so
Do you speak
I'm
Espanol?
like, sí, pero solo para hombres más hermosos del mundo, chica.
I'm on day 300 of my Duolingo streak.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much.
commitment.
Thank you
That's
so much.
amazing.
Like most-
Your Duolingo owl is like healthy.
Yes,
Mine is
so
like a
healthy.
chia pet that like died long ago.
That just reminds you every day how disappointed he is in you.
It's just the app icon is just the rotting corpse of the Duolingo owl.
It's just the bones of an owl.
Oh no, yes.
Oh, so sad. But
So
yeah,
sad.
like most American teenagers, I didn't retain that much from my Spanish classes in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am.
Doing comedy in Spanish is a wonderful way to learn Spanish, actually,
Yeah,
because
I'll bet.
you are connecting really well with like what
Yeah.
you're saying, and so it like
Totally.
really helps, in my opinion, like remember those words, especially like silly ones,
Especially
right?
silly ones.
When you're talking about, like sex toys, or you're talking
Totally.
about, right? It's like they don't teach you how to like say like drinking and smoking necessarily, but like
No.
you're gonna learn that in like a comedy
In like a
capacity.
comedy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God,
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, shout out.
Shout out Spanish speaking comedian, and shout out to Puerto
out
Rico.
bilingual comedians. Shout out Puerto Rico. We love you.
So much.
Please have me.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, you've got 27 states.
Down. We're doing our northern loop in
Awesome.
August here. So
Amazing.
literally about to leave and do that like
my
right now, which
God.
I'm very excited about.
I'm
I don't know.
so
I'm like,
excited
I
for
love
you.
southern rooms. Like
Yeah.
that's just real. People are like, I don't know about them southern states, and I'm just like, I love.
And you're
southern
like, I'm
room.
home.
Yeah, and like.
Yeah.
But northern states and Midwest states, I'm like, I don't know what this is. I've never been up
Yeah.
here, and so I don't know what y'all like.
So I guess you're gonna find out.
I'm full of cheese, hopefully. I don't know.
Oh God, I hope so.
hope
I
they're
hope you
full
come
of
back here
cheese.
full of cheese.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, where can people find info about the tour and get tickets?
All things Here to Pee at Here to Pee. All things me at Ren Q Comedy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be single-handedly fighting Mark Zuckerberg?
That's certainly what it feels like.
Yeah,
in,
definitely.
In this
Definitely.
world. It's so strange. And then like even weirder to kind of have had people dig into it and like ask Meta for a response specifically about our
Right.
stuff, and like having journalists dig into it, and like
Yeah.
obviously they don't want to comment, and like that like it's like in some ways unsurprising, but it's like
Yeah.
having to get creative around how do we
Totally.
get this show and news about this show to folks, right? And like, and especially our target audience. And so it's looked like a lot of like kind of in some ways like it's like early 2000s style reach out, where I'm just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
give me every single P flag in the state, and I send an email, and then I'm like, give me every single LGBTQ organization in the state, and give me every single trans support group in the state, and give
Right.
me every single gay D&D group in the state, and give me, you know what,
Yes.
where's my radical fairies? Like, hey, gay man's chorus, do you want to come to this trans comedy show?
love that.
And like sending an email and being like,
I love that.
comp tickets for your group, and here's a discount code for anyone you serve.
Amazing.
And like
Discount
yeah,
code gay.
gay. It's a
GAY
queer
gay.
community, all caps, one word. You can use it on any ticket for the show. Shout
Because
out
we
to
are
yourself.
one.
That's correct.
Oh my God, I love.
Promo for the community, but yeah, so it's forced us to kind of get more creative with it, because we can't
Yeah.
run ads, and a lot of our posts don't get seen, and then doing a lot of like podcasts and things,
Yeah.
and just being able to tap into different kind of communities that way. But even if you're not queer, I think that y'all would like the show. It's
If
pretty
you like to
funny.
laugh, I mean, God.
If you like to have a good time,
Yeah.
come to the show. And if you
if you're not a
don't,
total
then
square.
maybe try to find it in your heart to let me change your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have even the slightest desire to laugh, or even if you're like, you can't make me laugh, a challenge.
Ooh, I
maybe.
love a challenge. In an
Ooh, a
audience, I love a
challenge.
challenge.
I
There's
love
always
that.
like those dude bros in the front that are just kind
Yeah.
of like, I don't want to laugh
Yeah.
at this gay stuff. And like, I love that. That's my favorite,
God.
dude, because if you get them, you literally are like, oh,
You're
gosh,
like, you could
got
not
'em.
stifle that little
That's
laugh.
right. Yeah, it's like
my
I'm
little
so
gay
funny that you
jokes.
can't even. It's definitely an ego boost whenever that happens.
Oh my
I love a
God.
challenge.
And in this economy,
Oh my
we
God.
need that now
That's
more than
rough.
ever.
Every day.
We were just talking off mic about how nice it is when someone who you don't know that well, or don't even know at all, is like, hey, I like your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I live for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I live for flattery.
Yes, that
That's what I
validation
truly live
is so important, I think, especially in the podcasting world, because
Absolutely.
you're just like, you post something online and everyone's just like, oh, that's fun. And then you're just like,
Yeah.
sometimes behind the scenes, you're just like, in here, I am alone with a camera in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that, validate your people, validate your friends'
Yeah.
projects.
Yeah.
That's really the takeaway
Or
here.
even your acquaintances or people you don't know that well. Just shoot them a DM. You know what you could do? Write a review. Oh my God,
Oh.
write a comment.
Oh, we love an engagement.
Share a
We love a
post.
share and a save.
Share a post.
Wow.
Wow.
Ally.
Be an ally. Prove it.
Mhm.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Okay, I need to know, did Mulan make you trans, and also which Disney character made you gay?
Probably, and yes. No, genuinely, I'm so excited to talk about Mulan.
Oh my God, me
As a
too.
trans person, I am so excited
Oh my
to
God.
talk about Mulan, okay? Because it is, to this day, 1998, and they
1998.
nailed so many different gender
Mm-hmm.
expectations, and somehow were able to craft a beautiful storyline without a fantastic sound. Quoth
Yeah.
Nick, probably the best soundtrack in a Disney
Absolutely.
film home.
One of the
Yes,
best.
100% agree.
Yep.
And we're able, oh my gosh, and like have a whole arc around like gayness, queerness, like transness. You have best friend, family dynamic. Oh my God, we hit it all.
Yes.
And we save China.
And you laugh, you'll cry.
We have Mushu. We got a non-binary
Mushu.
icon, the lucky cricket. Do they gender their cricket
God.
a single
Okay,
time? I don't think so.
Do you remember that Twitter account, He They of the Day?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that cricket is the He They of the Day.
Oh, my God. He, they, the new himbo.
My
Yes.
God, yes. Icon.
Icon. Yes. So it did make me trans, probably. And
Yeah, probably.
even if we weren't, a great message to receive. And
Absolutely.
also, what Disney character was that the question?
Yeah,
Would I
like
be?
which Disney character made you gay?
I don't know if they made me gay, but I think that we've grown into like Timon.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I could see
Nick
that.
just like looked up and would just like nodded like it's giving Timon.
Yeah, it's giving
It's
Timon.
giving Timon. I
Yeah.
think either that or like I aspire to be like the quirky old man that is the rooster from the Fox animated Robin Hood. You know what I mean? Where he's like walking in with like he's got a little like swagger
could
to
see
him,
that.
and he's got
I
his
could
little
see that for
mandolin, and
you.
he's just like, once upon a time there were some sexy foxes, and they did right by the world. I don't know,
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, I want to be that Renaissance fox or Renaissance rooster. Yeah,
Yeah, and oh my God, I think it's just maybe a couple years away.
that's right. So yeah, I think that those are my
Growing into it.
my like queer, my like gay guy,
Kind of like your gay guys.
like that's. You have a group of non-binary friends. It's just
Yeah.
like a assortment of animated, probably animal Disney characters.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. My friend Jackie and I, shout out Jackie Peck, friend of the pod. She and I talked about A Bug's Life and how that group of little circus freaks, we were like,
That's your friends.
That's your friend.
Tag yourself on the caterpillar.
Yeah,
Oh no.
literally.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I do identify with him and also the roly-polies. I think they're kind of just like,
I love those guys.
But yeah,
I feel like those
that's-
guys got a pass. Roly Poly's got a pass.
oh my God, I know, totally. But, and I really do think that we should deep dive into that story, into that spin-off. That's kind of the word I was looking for, is the spin-off.
Circus bugs.
Circus bugs.
Okay, I have one last one, and then we can actually talk about Mulan. But
Okay.
speak on circus bugs. Okay, I went down.
Speaking of circus bugs and my gay friends.
Literally, no. Okay, I was in a rabbit hole last night on YouTube, and I got down like a TLC rabbit hole. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about, okay?
Of course.
And there was like a show that I'm new to, which was like kind of like My Strange Addiction, but it was my kid's weird obsession.
Oh my.
Was the best TV I've ever seen in my life.
Wait.
It was,
What year did this come out?
Oh, gotta be early 2000s. Looked like it could have been edited on YouTube. It was amazing. Amazing. And like, it's just kind of, my kid's like autistic niche, if you will.
Yeah.
But like, we love that. And there was
We love that. We are allies.
we love that. I love that for them. Support their passions. Also, why is this parent? They're just like, my child is addicted to fans, and I'm like, you're the one buying fans. They don't have a job.
Yeah, they don't have a job.
You can say no. You don't have to buy that fan. But there was one child who collected cockroaches, and it was her mission in life to convince people that cockroaches were our friends. And in some ways, I think that she was kind of right. And she did. In order to do this, she made a cockroach circus.
Oh.
That performed at the
my
local
God.
children's museum. And they shot a cockroach out of a small cannon. And
No.
in a room full of children, and it worked. And also the cockroach survived. And it was kind of just the best thing I've seen in a long time.
Would I go? Yeah, of course I would go.
So I just had
I would see
I
it.
just had to let the world know that Cockroach Circus exists in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Children's Museum.
God, I hope that kid's doing okay. Because if that was the early 2000s, they're
Good
probably
for
like
her.
our
I hope
age
she.
now.
I bet she's just like a really successful like entomologist. I think
hope
that's the
so.
word.
She's probably like a product manager for Facebook or something. Like,
Right. She just has her collection of roaches at home.
At home, yeah.
That's
It's
right.
kind of just like leave your personal life at
I
home.
would have a child that's just like, Mom, can we have a roach? And she's just like, we
my
have roaches
God.
at home. Okay.
We have roaches you can play with at home, okay?
Yes, really.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to give you that.
And thank you
Rebug circus.
Thank you so much for telling me that, because I can't I just had no idea where we were going to go when you said that reminds me when talking about the bug circus. And it's like, I can't think of a more perfect, for like point A to point B.
I'm sorry. Oh, God.
It's exactly what I wanted to hear. So thank you.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank
Okay.
you for joining me.
Oh, a pleasure to be along.
And
for the
now
ride.
we're off to a whole other journey.
And now let's launch into this.
Let's talk Mulan.
Let's talk about Mulan.
Let's talk about Mulan.
Okay, so this is loosely based on this legendary Chinese folk tale called Mulan.
Mulan.
And basically she was like considered probably to be a fictional character, like maybe something similar to this story maybe happened. This is really like based on a true story, allegedly type thing. But this is not the first time that the name Mulan has come up in a story about a Chinese heroine, basically. And it takes place in China during some like unspecified imperial dynasty.
Love that era.
Oh my God. Love an unspecified imperialist
great artwork,
dynasty.
Great time.
The music that came out of it. You know what I mean? I didn't love what was happening politically, but the pop culture that came out of it. Impressive. So she, of course, impersonates a man to take her father's place during a general conscription to counter a Han invasion. So this is the basis for what becomes sort of the American tale in the Chinese context of Mulan. And they were able to make this because of the success of Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, what else? Lion King. I mean, all of the great early 90s animation of Disney. They were convinced, that Disney executives were convinced to allow the feature animation Florida studios to produce their first independent film.
Wow.
Which was this.
Wow. Support independent film.
Support independent
that's what
film.
that means.
Yes, it does. Okay, so at first, when Chris Sanders, he was one of the screenwriters, he got frustrated with how this script was developing into more of like a romantic comedy. So he brings in Pam Coates, who is one of the producers, and was like, look, let's make this a little bit more, I don't know, not that. And so she came in and was like, okay, we're going to have her be a little bit more selfless. She's going to do this thing for her family. This isn't going to be about just like love and kissy smoochy.
Yeah.
And I think that they really benefited from that.
Yes.
And she also, she brings in this element of like, okay, this girl's getting physically stronger. She's using her brain. We're trying to like balance this feminine and masculine. We're trying to explore some of these dynamics. It's not like they were, well, I was going to give my opinion, but I'd like to ask your opinion. Do you think that this movie is groundbreaking in the way that it explores gender, or do you think that it was maybe not? I don't know.
I think it was totally groundbreaking.
Okay,
I think it was
great.
totally groundbreaking.
That was
and
kind
like,
of a leading question. I'm sorry that if this was a
No,
survey,
no.
that would be the wrong way to ask
that was
question.
perfect. No, it was perfect. It was perfect. And like, no, I 100%. I think the entire film is then grounded in like, it's interesting because it's like, instead of being oriented around like love, you know, seeking, if you will, it's oriented around kind of identity.
Yeah.
And it does that not just like for Mulan, who's like pretending to be a man, you know, whatever. Is she? And then
Is
I'm trans, so I'm
Link?
just like, I'm just like, for the purpose of my TED Talk, I will be referring to Mulan as they. No, I won't, but I could, and but we could, and you could definitely make that argument. I think the entire thing focuses on identity, and not just of Mulan, but also like talking about her identity as like her father, who's like clearly, you know what I mean, like clearly like struggling, you know what I mean, in like kind of his physical capacity in his older age, and then like being still having the identity and the duty, you know, like despite that, and like knowing that that's a death sentence, having kind of the identity shoved on. I mean, literally first song, like Bring On Her Own Soul, they're literally listing the entire song. Every single lyric is listing out like, what do we need a woman to be? We need you to be like, you know, like clean and proper with a tiny waist, or like whatever, you know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's like literally, you gotta be thin, you gotta be cute, you gotta be clean, you gotta be perfect, you gotta be fine, you gotta be a doll, like, and you know what I mean? Like, that's it. And I think that that's so interesting to kind of like throw at, right? You know, just like immediate, like, this is what femininity looks like, and then this is kind of a soft expectation of masculinity. Ooh, a little tease over here with a dad, and and then we even have a fun flip later down the line, of course, in looking at, you know, what is expected of men, and like literally make a man out of you. What makes a man, right? Like, like literally, it's so direct, and to have such a fun direct conversation woven into like a fun plot that's like quirky and cute. It's God, I just think that was I think masterpiece.
Wow, a masterpiece. Ren
Love
Q says
Mulan.
on Mulan.
On Mulan.
Quote,
On Mulan.
On the 1993
yes.
Mulan.
And you can quote
a masterpiece.
Literally, yes. Yes, masterpiece. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, that just really amped me up.
Yo, I'm so hyped to talk about Mulan.
Oh my God.
I'm so hyped. There's so much.
Oh my God, me too.
I just had to like.
No, thank you for just taking the energy in here and taking it to a 10. Appreciate that.
Girl, you want energy on Mulan? Look no further than any trans man.
Speaking on behalf of all trans men,
I think yes, actually. I think yes.
Pretty confidently.
I think this is like pretty.
If you disagree,
ubiquitous.
You can reach out to Ren directly and not my comments.
Oh, I will go to bat for Mulan.
Get an argument. Could be fun. But then also tell Ren you like his work.
Thanks.
Okay, I found really deep in the internet this interview that Tony Bancroft, one of the directors, had with Christian Post, because he was a God-fearing man, which, you know, good for him. Live and let live.
A God-fearing man. Sorry.
Okay, so this is what he says. Quote, I have 3 daughters, and as I was working on Mulan, I had 2 at the time. I wanted to make something, a unique heroine that hadn't been seen before. I wanted to give them somebody who could be strong on her own without a prince saving her. Mulan is different. It cuts the mold. It tells a story of a girl who can't help who she is, but exists in a different society that tells her who she's supposed to be, obedient. The difference is that she changes the world around her instead of changing herself, including the Emperor of China, who honors her. Okay, so we're off to a good start.
Right. I was going to say, I was just like, this sounds like an argument for like every like trans take on the film.
Sure.
As well. Right.
Yes.
So I'm like,
absolutely.
Yes,
Don't worry. There's nothing anti-trans coming up.
Love that. Yes. But also I'm just kind of like, I'm like, what is he going to say?
Right. Where is it going to go? So, okay. He says, okay, the theme of the film is be true to yourself, and that's what Mulan's journey was, and that's what I wanted to give my daughters. Even Christians need to be true to themselves and not be saved by their friends, but be true to the values they hold in their own lives. Again, love where we're going with this.
Yes, good.
Okay, and then we did a lot of research to be culturally accurate, and being a Christian, we made a pact that we wouldn't go too deep into Buddhism, but would stay true to our own beliefs. The ancestors are supposed to be fun, light, so that we didn't give too much attention to the Buddhist beliefs and history. And here's the thing. I don't really want an American Christian trying to tell me a story of Chinese Buddhism in my Disney films.
Yes.
I don't know that that's really the right person for the job.
Correct.
At the same time, LOL at we made a pact. We wouldn't go too deep into the Buddhism.
Literally, like I was like, it's like nobody, nothing, and they're just like, none of that Buddhism. I don't know.
They're like, we all agree it's still a Christian film.
Like literally, it's giving Parker Posey from like White Lotus, where she's like, hyper, not the Buddhism,
not the Buddhism.
No, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's that, like, it's that exact energy. Yeah, and it's like I. Did we even need to say that? It's like, clearly it's not.
Clearly
you know?
These wacky ass little ghosts are not really
they were like, we wanted it to be Asian but not too Asian. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
yeah. And honestly, like, I think that is one of the things about this film that is really complicated in how it ages, is the way in which it kind of uses some Chinese and just like general Asian stereotypes and stories, kind of loops it all in together.
Correct.
at the same time, this movie does have the first Asian American princess. This is like one of the, I mean, still Asian American representation in movies is like tragic.
Yeah.
It's so little.
So, yes. Oh my God. So on this wavelength.
Yeah.
And I think that it is such a interesting line, and it is not a fine line. It is quite a blurred one, I think, in entertainment and also in especially animation, actually, which is like what is visibility and what is appropriation, right?
Exactly.
And like where
totally.
where does that lie? And I think that at the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to like, well, we're, like people telling their own stories, or are we telling someone's story for them?
Right.
Exactly. And what does that look like? And so, yeah, I think that can be drawn about like kind of any, you look at any like animation about a marginalized group, whether that's like a queer person or a person of color or like anything. And like that is a question.
For
right?
sure.
Especially in a very like white, cis, het, dominant, Christian, whatever, dominated like industry. So yeah, no, I mean, like, wonderful point. I think that for this, the fact that it's the first representation is like a big one for me, because it's like, and I also would cite kind of Will and Grace effect too, and like at least it is for
God bless. I'm
like,
so
and this
glad
is
that you brought up Will and Grace today.
this is like, right, like you don't have to agree with this, right? But I think that like for me in queer representation, which is like different, but for sure we're like, okay, let me take a stereotype and it's going to be kind of maybe two-dimensional even, or flat, or just positive or just negative, and we're going to, you know what I mean? We're going to take that stereotype and that's the only visibility that we have. Like, yeah, Will from Will and Grace is a very two-dimensional gay character. Also, I am so glad that how many people saw Will and Grace and were able to then be like, well, I don't know about that because I kind of like that funny gay guy off that TV show.
Totally.
And so to me, I think that like, I will still take a two-dimensional gay character, even if that, you know what I mean? It comes with other like problematic stereotypes in its wake. On our way to like making better media, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it was in this time when I feel like, this is just like a broad generalization, but it feels like American filmmakers at this time were just like, ooh, Asia.
Yes. Yes.
So there's this like weird appropriation, or like, maybe I wouldn't go so far as to say fetishizing in this movie, but I don't know. Maybe people could prove me wrong, right, in the comments. But it feels like there's this general like interest in like Asia and Asian culture and Asian history.
Yes.
And so, but like from this American vantage point.
Correct.
And I think that really shows itself in the movie, the way that it's basically, I mean, kind of like I alluded to before, it's an American story.
Yes.
Placed in a Chinese context.
Yes.
And that's also like, that's fine because it did really well in the US. It did not do that well in China. Yeah. But that was, I mean, there were other like political things at play. It was like the Chinese government was kind of discouraging foreign films at that time. It came out after Chinese New Year, which is like their holiday movie season. But yeah, some viewers were like, it's a little too individualistic, a little bit too much of that like Western, like coming of age story.
Yes.
So
yeah, I would argue that this actually takes because it is a hero's journey, and it actually takes very much to me more of kind of like the Greek mythos like standard, which
definitely.
I think is really common in other kind of American films at the time, because we're looking at the journey of a hero going back home. Oh my gosh, it's giving Odysseus. It's giving, you know what I mean? Like, and it's giving trials and tribulations along the way, and like, I think that is more over the like framework that I can kind of like see it in. But as a viewer, it feels so empowering, kind of, I think, regardless of like almost like the context that it's set in that you have like family dynamic, you have social pressure, and you have kind of individual like wants, needs, desires, means to an ends, right?
Yeah.
And it showcases gender fluidity in all of those contexts as well. And also that breaking the norm is indeed like the kind of the gold, like it's a silver lining, right? That is like the message. Like when
Yeah.
when we don't break the norm, stuff goes awry, right?
Yeah.
We kick Mulan out the military, we're attacked by the Huns. When we do
Yeah.
break it, when we do like break those norms, like we save our dad and we cross dress and we save China. You know what I
And
mean?
we
Like
sing some really good songs.
damn, we sure do.
And those songs would not be made possible without the cross-dressing of it all.
That's correct.
That's exactly right.
The cross dressing.
That's
of it
my
all.
conviction. Okay, I feel like so I don't, because I wrote these notes like 3 weeks ago, I don't remember if this is something that someone else said or something that I thought to myself. I think that this is my idea, but I'm so sorry if you're listening and you're like, that was my idea. I feel like she's the animated counterpart to Michelle Yeoh.
Oh,
she's
totally.
She's like that girl.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
that's all I
totally.
have to say about that.
Agree. We love Michelle Yeoh. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Everything. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're not here to talk about Michelle Yeoh, but we could be.
But we could.
It is interesting how, okay, speaking of that girl, it's interesting how even this idea of like a girl being a hero, we have to place it in this like fantasy realm. It's like it's not possible in this world, but in this movie, in this tale, that's where it becomes possible. But that's why, in the words of Reese Witherspoon, women's stories matter. They just do.
They just do.
They just do.
They just do. I agree with that, and I would even agree with that in so far in like not just the film but the legend of
Yes,
Mulan. In
absolutely.
having to be like, this is a myth based on a thing that your friend said that is also coming with a disclaimer and is an
Exactly.
allegory actually, but it was based
Yeah.
on maybe someone real at one point who did maybe be alive. And I was like, and in some way I'm like I feel like that's a lot of women's history and queer history actually
Totally.
is often through kind of this concept of like, it's not just a myth because it's unverified. It's like a myth because like we're not documenting like women
Right.
and queer people's history in that way. And then also it's like we often have to qualify women and queer people's stories with kind of almost this other disclaimer, if that makes sense, with being like, I don't know, unlikely.
I don't know.
They were roommates.
Probably not.
I have to like, you know what I mean? You have to
Yeah.
be like, well, this is gossip, but also this really cool thing happened. You know what I
Right,
mean?
totally.
And like, I think that we don't do that with almost like any just kind of like standard. If this was just the, classic like Greek hero story of a dude doing a thing and going home, I we wouldn't qualify it with that. We'd be like, yeah, it's a myth, but it probably happened.
Yeah, totally. Or
And
like,
we don't do that
oh,
with women.
it could happen.
Yes.
With this, I'm like, well, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, you know what is really annoying though is that after this movie came out, the toys, do you remember the toys that came out?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I ought to, but I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. Probably, well, no shade, but they were very feminine, so perhaps they were
perhaps
not, really
my speed
perhaps not your
at the
taste.
time. That's right. That's
tea,
right.
no
What were
shade.
the toys?
It was like Mulan looking really feminine were a lot of the dolls. It was like in that dress that she hates.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was like the way that they, not even just in the toys, but when they would have like a shirt with all the Disney princesses, because she was like, even though she's not royalty, she was inducted into the Disney princess canon. It was like not Mulan dressed as a warrior, but Mulan dressed in her little.
Yeah, to be a doll and not an action figure. That is the strife, and perhaps also why I would not have noticed, because I'm like, I don't need a doll.
Didn't go down that aisle.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I appreciate that cultural insight.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
It is a bummer,
It
but
is a
also
bummer.
it tracks.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, kind of 90s.
Yeah.
It's pretty perfect.
Totally. A lot of this, a lot of the things that I'm kind of like, well, that maybe didn't age great. It's like, well, I don't mean, on this podcast, I don't mean to end everything with being like, well, it was the 90s. But, but the thing is, first of all, it was. And I think for the 90s, we're really looking at some good stuff here. In fact, oh my God, I just remembered that I pulled this right
This
before
film
I
may be
came here.
more progressive in the context that it was written and produced and like released in the 90s than it would be if it was made today.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I think that
Yep.
that is a piece that really holds up for
Yes,
me, and that like
absolutely.
it is kind of standing the test of time, and that like this is still a conversation that we really struggle with as a
Yes.
people, and around gender, and around women being allowed in the military,
Right.
or
Totally.
other trans people being allowed in the
Yeah.
military. Right. And like that, right, there's like kind of this other piece of
Mm-hmm.
like, no, we ought to like respect people that like choose to serve,
Yeah,
like their
totally.
community, their country, whatever. And
Their
then
family,
also
their
like
honor.
bingo. And then
Yeah.
also like, right, what, being honorable doesn't just mean ascribing to roles that are like predetermined for you. It means like being able
Yes.
to find ways that you feel empowered to contribute.
And that is a message that I think like this movie gets across so clearly in a way that almost I think um if this film were made today, I believe that the right, that like the conservative right would be like, well, this is propaganda. It's just liberal propaganda.
Liberal
But
propaganda.
because I mean, it's like obviously in 1998 there was fierce discourse around gender and gender dynamics and gender fluidity. Like it's always been happening. But I feel like the sad part is that like today people would be like, well, it's too politicized.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, okay, I pulled this right before I came here.
In fact.
Mike Pence wrote a 1999 op-ed
Oh my God. On
on
Mulan.
Mulan.
On Mulan.
It was unearthed in 2016.
On Mulan.
On Mulan.
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence. Bad quote. Mike Pence on Mulan.
I'm gonna write a book. This is amazing.
Isn't that amazing? This is what
Okay.
he said. He argued that the movie was, quote, a mischievous liberal propaganda that only proved that having women in the military was a bad idea because, he says,
Because she saves all
many
of
young
China.
men find many young women to be attractive sexually. Many young women find many young men to be attractive sexually. Put them together in close quarters for long periods of time and things will get interesting.
Okay, wait. This sounds like a gay theorizing about heterosexual sex.
Yeah,
That is
they're like-
100% what that sounds like. He's like, now I have heard that
I don't know how it
when
works,
women
but-
are around, men may be aroused. I have never experienced this.
I couldn't
but
tell you how it
word
works.
on the
Couldn't draw you a
streets-
picture. Right?
Does this man know how children are made? I'm like,
No, honestly, I don't think that he's
Oh,
ever seen.
no.
I don't think that he's ever
a-
seen anyone, including himself, naked.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
That is the gayest thing I've ever heard in my
oh
life.
my god, I know, right?
That's so good.
It's so good. Things, quote, things will get interesting.
Mischievous. It's the I don't know why that like
Mischievous
really.
liberal.
He's like, these tricksy liberals. You tried to convince me that you were a man, but what I should have been worried about was China being invaded.
But it not
But
even
we caught
that-
you. We caught her.
Yeah,
We caught him.
we caught him. Good thing, because you
God.
know what would have happened if they knew that she was a girl. Things would get interesting.
Things would get interesting. He's
so
like, that's
that makes me
definitely
like it
why the
more.
general liked Mulan, and definitely not because he was a little gay.
Yeah.
It
It's not
definitely
gay.
it wasn't gay.
It's not gay.
It's not gay.
Yeah,
Even though they were a little flirtatious when she was still a boy,
for sure.
he totally knew she was a woman.
Yeah,
deep down.
because when
And
you
that's
get
why he
men
was
and
so
women together,
upset.
things get interesting.
And that's why he was so upset when he found out that she was a girl
Oh man,
and not relieved.
I thought you were a boy because I like boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But comes to in his bisexuality, and we appreciate that. We love to see growth.
Totally.
And Mike Pence, maybe
and by
you too.
representation matters. We don't get enough of it these days. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else like background wise that I really need to share with you, but I think we basically covered all of the funny little background things, particularly the Mike Pence stuff.
Excellent. I'm so glad.
I'm so glad that I found that before we came here
Me
today.
too. Me too.
Okay. Another piece of criticism, though, was that the production team largely consisted of people of non-Chinese descent.
Bunch of white guys made this film. Shock
So,
for that.
shock. A bunch of white guys made a Disney film. Okay, but it didn't get that much better in the 2020 live action film.
I didn't. Okay.
Bitch.
I also don't have a lot of positive things to say.
I never
about
saw it.
The
Did you see
rendition
it?
of the film. I did see it.
Did you
and
pay
I,
$30 to see it during the pandemic?
Oh no! I
Okay.
definitely didn't bootleg it online.
Definitely didn't do that.
But yes, I watched it and it was like cool to see a badass woman, warrior,
course.
cool choreography. All of that was real. I'm queer. I love a costume. I do, and like it's
We love
right.
the theatrics.
It's good. That's good. I do feel like, and now like having seen that actress's kind of commentary on the queer community as well, that it felt de-ossified a bit here and there to me. And I believe that some of that is lacking both the cartoonish whimsy and like absurdity that like we know to be part of queer culture as well.
Right. The Mushu of it all, really. Mushu, the little dragon, and the he, they cricket.
He, they cricket.
Yeah.
How do we get... You can't get gayer than he, they cricket.
Totally.
And so, I think that like... I don't know. I was missing some of that, and I understand that it wasn't made necessarily to be in the same style of like a lighthearted film that the original one was, and so I think that was part of it. But like, I was just like, well, at least the original to me is like a classic that does indeed kind of stand the test of time, storyline wise, watchability wise, song wise, like all of that, and message wise, like definitely a message I still want to pass on to these here kids, not my kids, I don't have them, but y'all's kids,
but your kids. Because that's the thing about the queer community is that we're always trying to infiltrate the minds of children.
That's correct. It is the gay agenda, and this is a good one.
This is the gay agenda.
Gay agenda approved. Mulan. On Mulan. No, but genuinely, I think that it is wholesome from a straight Christian perspective, and it is still wholesome from like the gayest perspective that you could have, which is good media. I don't necessarily have that same commentary on the new one.
Yeah. That's fair.
And also, so I'm like willing to also put up with like less appropriation when it's not even that great.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw it, but I did have a lot to say when I found out that they were charging $30 for people to watch it at their fucking house. I was like, this is
extortion.
We have so little right now. We're in the depths of the pandemic. Everyone's locked down. And they said, it's cheaper than if you took your family to the movie. Shut up. That was messed up. And that's not to say that like the whole Chinese nationalism of it all wasn't,
present.
It's simply the $30 for the viewing experience.
You're just like problematics aside, okay? I don't know about paying these $30 to see this here film.
I don't know about, all this viral stuff going around about the lead actress being in support of the Hong Kong police, but what I do know is that $30 is too much for a movie to watch it at home.
And that's like the Midwest dad take, and I share it actually.
And thank you for that. I think it's a racket. That's the definition of a racket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's interesting because like in, and this is something that I'm experiencing right now in like kind of my personal and professional life as like a queer entertainer, right? But in, Frumpy's America, I think that it is hard to both separate out, kind of the politics behind the art.
Yeah.
And like the personal politics behind like creators of the art that we ingest and enjoy. It's getting harder and harder to tease that out. That being said, it is also like I'm not necessarily clear on my ethics around being able to consume art that is then made by people who I don't share political agreements with. I also don't know how to push the needle if I'm not willing to put up with a lot more than I would like to, and also try to engage with that culture and those creators and that kind of film. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, if those are the homies that run something, even if I hate the boss, I feel like I still have to come up with a good rapport with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially because like there is a school of thought that like once you create something, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like if as an audience you kind of like reclaim it in some ways, then does it like justify your enjoyment of it? Why can't we just enjoy nice things that we like?
Yeah, I think that it's tough because there's like what is supporting that art, and then what is the supporting that artist and that person
Right,
and that
totally.
and those ideals. What does that look like? And so I am more willing than not, I would say, to engage with like folks that I don't necessarily agree with, and try
Yeah.
to like suggest and appreciate the pieces that like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I can kind of guide if I'm in there. If
Yeah.
I'm rejecting it entirely, then suddenly I'm like letting that culture be shaped without like my
Without
input
being
at all.
yeah, totally. And then
Um,
it's so easy to like get stuck in an echo chamber when like you're only consuming art and media and spending time with people who like see the world the way that you
Yes.
do. And that's not to say like, oh, we should really give people a chance to talk about how they hate me, but it is sort of like, I mean, I felt like when God, this is so dark. But when when Trump was running for president for the first time, I did not know a single person that I knew of who was voting for him.
Oh,
So
wow,
that's
really?
why when
where were you located?
here in
You were
Denver.
here. Okay. That tracks.
Yeah. So when he won, I was like so bamboozled because I was
Yeah.
like, wait, but nobody voted. Like my little world, my social media presence, like everything, every way in which I interact with the world, it was like, oh yeah, no one's voting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the president.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting. I think that there is certainly a lot less support than is touted, but a lot more support than I was able to understand
For
in
sure.
my like isolated circles.
Yeah.
I lived in West Virginia when he was first elected,
Really?
and so there's a lot of Trump folks out
Wow.
there. That being said, I would say that like a lot of these places that even swung for Trump are much more mixed politics than we're willing to
Yeah.
kind of admit.
Totally.
Whereas like you can have a community that is both like, yeah, like very conservative in one area and actually not that conservative over here.
Yeah.
And so to paint everyone as just kind of like full stop, you know, one side of a political conversation, I don't think is actually doing us a service and being able to have cordial conversations and trying to like bring people along for the ride. So like, don't just paint people as red hats, set appropriate boundaries, but like, you know, I think that we can like find places to actually bring homies over.
And you know what? I think if you asked most Americans, do you like Mulan? They'd be like, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We like
Yes.
Mulan. It's great. It's a
I think-
wonderful film.
I think I'm going to speak on behalf of everybody and say I think everybody
On
likes
behalf
this movie.
of the United States of America, I would just like to say we stand Mulan. And
Yeah.
also, there's like so many extra wonderful pieces in the film that are like
Yes.
worth noting as well, right? Which
Yes.
is like, first of all, animation style, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my God,
Like, we love it.
gorgeous.
We love it. The color palette of the film is beautiful.
Amazing.
And I think that being able to show such flawed characters and their growth and development of all
Yes.
characters is fantastic. We do that in such a short period of time for a large cast of characters because we get an
Huge.
entire army that we impose
Yeah.
a personality onto. And we're able to then actually hear a lot of the thoughts and insecurities of those male figures while talking about kind of the pressures on men in especially like I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Yeah.
Literally we have like the inner thoughts like never gonna catch my breath, think about those who knew
Uh-huh.
me. Like those are literally the inner thoughts of the dudes in the training,
Yeah,
right? And that's that,
totally.
and we so rarely get to showcase that level of vulnerability when like being told kind of like the pressures and the expectations that are on
Yeah.
you. And there is a really beautiful, I think, kind of tying between the beginning and the end of the film as well, in that kind of piece where like you have to climb the tower with the gongs and like nobody can do it and it's so hard and impossible
Yeah.
seeming and nobody can do it, and Mulan kind of figures it out to like take the heavy things and use them, and that doesn't necessarily make it just an act of brain.
Right.
It is still very physically impressive, and I think
Yeah.
that the combination of those things is kind of the point of the film, is like being
Yeah.
able to take kind of this, you know, like strategist, you know, and feminine quality in some ways, as well as this kind of like brute force and determination, masculine quality in other ways,
Yeah.
and mesh them together to be able to accomplish a task and, you know, kind of be our best selves.
Yeah.
Right. And we see
God,
that
that's
then
beautiful.
again at the end with our cross-dressing scene, which is
Yes.
wonderful and funny, and it's funny without just making fun of the fact that they are cross-dressing.
Yes,
and that is
absolutely.
so it's so rare to see that.
Totally.
In television, because it is often the butt of the joke that they are dressed as
It's
women.
like,
Ha
LOL,
ha.
so they look like women. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
the butt of the joke is that they see this opportunity to trick someone in a different way, and
Yeah.
they are like kind of they are almost like when they realize like, oh, wait, we can sneak in and do this, instead of being like kind of put off by that idea
They're
or thinking that
excited.
it is silly. They are excited for it, and they realize its potential and its opportunity, and are even fine to continue kind of fighting in that dress up gown. There is no like ick, I can't believe I just did that, which is often the kind of punchline.
Totally.
And we
Usually
don't
it's
have
like,
that.
haha, no homo, you know?
No, but like the result
Yeah.
is just like, haha, we know how to incorporate strategy and like force, and now we can, like,
Yeah.
right? And so it's wonderful. Moral of the story: want to be a good warrior, do drag. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Truly. Just
yeah,
try it.
big facts.
Just try it once.
So yeah, I think that there's just some key elements of those, you know what I mean, for me in the film that I'm just like, cannot get away with like without talking about that.
Oh my God,
to me,
yes.
because it is so.
Oh my God. And I also love
Amazing.
how the guys in the army, the movie does such a good job of like poking fun at the way in which these guys, like, I don't know, they're weird like homosocial relationships where they're like smacking each other on the butt.
Yeah.
And it's so like, oh, we all know these guys.
Yeah, and I think the transness of like such vulnerable moments of cutting your hair and
Yeah.
socializing as a boy for the first time and not
Yes.
knowing what the hell you're doing.
Totally.
And then being able to like be like, I'm in a locker room and I have to cover up right now and nobody else really understands why, and
or
like
I'm
that's
hurt
so vulnerable.
and they have to take my clothes off and I'm wearing a binder.
Bingo. Yeah, exactly. And
Totally.
I'm getting misgendered, and my entire thing has been right. Like there's I think that it just is showing really vulnerable moments that we don't see in the trans community. So whether Mulan is trans or not, or is like doing, you know what I mean? Like there is just the reality of like that is a shared experience, very exclusively in some ways with like gender diverse people, and it is shown so beautifully, and you empathize with her the whole time, and you're just like, no, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
you gotta run
you're
away.
Like,
you
you're
know,
both like simultaneously like, oh my God, I hope that she doesn't get caught, but also I hope that they just accept her for who she is and they love her. You know?
Exactly. So it's almost like regardless of the gender outcome, if you will, it's like we're all hoping for that same thing, which is like we hope that authentically this person is seen for like the amazing person that like she is.
Yeah.
And like if that is in boy clothes or girl clothes, and I think that that's just like a beautiful. It's a beautiful way to kind of like I think really bring everyone in.
I think
because
so
it's
too.
not just saying like, yeah, being a woman sucks. You know what I mean? It's
So
also
don't
saying
do it.
like, oh
Yeah.
man, being a man is like complicated and weird and as well. And then like there's a lot of kind of interesting social rules around that, and it some of them are quite superficial, and you know what I mean. And so I think that having that and being able to free Mulan and characters around her of those expectations so that they can actually be their best selves and like win the day, and work together effectively. Like that's such a powerful message. With or without kind of like your gender experience.
Totally. And thank you for saying that. and it deserved it. Noted. I totally agree. I think that this movie does such a good job of bringing all of the characters along for this like growth experience and like reckoning with their identity, kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's like, the guys in the army reckon with their identity, the hot general, potentially gay general,
Hot bisexual,
potentially
general.
bisexual general. Don't want to, it's all alleged here, but
Is it alleged? I'm like,
actually,
I'm like, I don't know. That
I think
one's
that we have
given-
pretty much concrete proof.
I was gonna say that
he's
one's a little bit more concrete than the other ones.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But sure, alleged.
But sure, sure.
Yeah, it's like
We'll
straight
wait for
people.
him. That's his story to
It's
tell.
like straight people on Grindr. They're just like alleged.
like,
I'm like, this
yeah,
is alleged
alleged.
straight at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, everyone kind of has their own reckoning with identity, not just Mulan. I mean, obviously, like a typical hero's journey, like her coming of age and finding herself and like, fulfilling the mission that has been set before her creates a change in other people that then, encourage them to do the same.
Yes.
I think that's so great.
Yeah, giving other people permission to be themselves starts with like you doing that.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful message. I also think that like fun kind of side is Mushu. Fantastic voice acting, fantastic like side comedic plot.
Yeah.
Really, really, really fun, right? And also we love an ally. We love like a little like go get him, tiger. Oh, my baby grows up so fast. You know what I mean? Like so good, right? And I also think is like a interesting additional side commentary on being the black sheep. You know, right? And like being kind of Mushu is kind of scorned from like the other. He's very much like looked down upon by the other ancestors. They're just like
joke.
you can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And proceeds to like be really effective and just give it his all, even though it's in like a different style, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's seen in like the voice acting and like the use of a black voice actor as well using
Yeah,
AVE.
totally.
I think that that's like a part of that too.
Yeah.
And like also in classic accidental gay trope fashion is like indeed that like other friend who's just kind of like I don't get him, but you go get him. You know what I mean? Like you know, we love that. We love our supportive ally
and
friend.
We love the enthusiastic supportive ally friend. We love our Mushus. I feel so torn about Eddie Murphy being the voice actor because I love Eddie Murphy, obviously. I love him as a voice actor. I want him to be voice acting in everything. And also, they could have maybe given that to a Chinese person.
Any Asian person.
Or literally any.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter.
Correct.
The entire continent of Asia.
Correct.
That they could have done that. But you know what? At least he wasn't white, I guess.
Went for it and did it great. Great.
Totally. Again, this is an American
really
story in a Chinese context. Are we that surprised that the voice actor for the sidekick was American? I mean,
no, correct. And so like, I think that is a, yes, excellent point.
Yeah.
But also, a fun like kind of side commentary on other aspects of identity. And
Totally.
I think showcased in like a really like, really like lighthearted way.
Because
which makes the message go down easier.
Are you older sibling, younger sibling, middle only?
I am the youngest. I'm the baby of the family.
Come here. Okay, so Mushu is the youngest sibling.
Yes.
Youngest siblings among us, who hasn't felt like, man, everyone thinks I'm just a little clown. No one takes me seriously.
As a comedian, can't imagine
literally
where that came from. Yes, no, 100%. Yeah, being taken seriously and like kind of stepping into his own, and also just like, I think, like finding his own way to do it.
Yeah,
He's still
totally.
like, he still wants to impress and like show that he can do a good job, but like is really only able to see strategy through Mushu lens.
Yeah.
Of like, I guess I'm gonna bite that guy, you know what I mean, like, or whatever, you know, in the moment to like make something happen. And I think that's like also another like wonderfully in some ways imperfect character that like we get to see kind of like grow as well in his own, and also in his like belief and ability just to support Mulan. We love friends that grow with us.
Oh my god, seriously.
Grow with us along the way.
Thank you to all the Mushus out there.
Mushus. Are you the Mushu friend? I don't know. I think I certainly am for some people in my life, actually. I'm like definitely the Mushu friend where I'm just like, rock'em sock'em, I love you. Did you eat breakfast? Like,
Did you eat breakfast? You should.
I have like, it's not quite the mom friend, it's the Mushu friend. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You're like, I'm
so
kind of like an annoying younger sibling, but also you need me to be cheering you on.
Also, all the men in the military are gay archetypes. In this essay, I will. We don't have that much time, but just to like kind of like quickly recap, right?
We'll make time.
Okay, great. Okay, so like we kind of have, you know what I mean? We kind of have like our big burly like leather daddy, King of the Rock, right? And then we have like Poe, I think it is, who's like, he's like our soft like bearer. He's like a bottom bearer energy to me. You know what I mean? We have kind of our obnoxious twink who's like only there to like talk, you know, goss and whatever. He's like there to literally spill the tea.
Literally just there to be an agent of chaos.
That was right. And I'm just like, and those are kind of our like, you know, three like gay archetype
totally pieces, kind of a holy trinity
like,
of gay archetypes.
And then we have our trans mask representation with Mulan.
Totally. The trans mask with a heart of gold.
And then we have our obviously like hot bisexual general as well, who's just like, he's like lives at the gym. He's like a military man. He's very together. He's like, he's like literally the clean cut jock type.
Yeah,
like,
he's
right?
like, I kind of do my own thing.
Exactly. He's like, I'm not really gay. I'm just on Grindr.
I'm just kind of, a servant leader.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I feel like the army really covers a lot of other gay ground accidentally.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an accident?
Was
I
that,
don't know.
is
Is there
that
anything else that we
alleged?
haven't talked about that like we must discuss?
When will my reflection see who I am inside? We just have to
Oh.
like do a quick note on the song because like, yo, if you cried to that song as a
Why
little
is my
girl because you related too
reflection
hard, baby, you might be trans. I don't know. I'm just saying. That is literally the trans experience in a
Oh.
nutshell. Is like literally
Oh my
like, who is that girl I see staring straight
Yeah.
back at me when we're my? Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
good. It's such a jam. It's so
It really
beautiful.
is.
The animation of it is fantastic.
My favorite song in the movie.
And then she cuts her hair afterwards. I'm like, this is like such a queer pipeline.
It's such a rite of passage.
Yes.
Oh,
so
I
good.
love it.
Yeah, and like with the god, we literally have that beautiful scene where she
Oh
like
my God.
puts the sword and like half
Oh
her
my God.
face, and you see like half girl and like
Yeah.
half boy face, and it's like so good. Also, then it literally in
amazing.
the next scene when she joins the army, she has like a full stop change jawline.
Oh my
And it's
God.
so funny. And I was just like, did Mulan invent mewing? Mulan.
Mulan. Literally.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just quick shout out on that.
Oh my God,
very
such a
gay
beautiful
piece of the
song.
film. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like I literally will I will watch it and unironically cry still.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It's so
Hard
touching.
relate. It's so good.
Love
It's so
it.
good.
Okay, what else? What else must we discuss?
What else must we discuss? The Huns are scary. Those are actually
God, they're
scary
actually-
villains.
They're really scary.
They're quite scary.
Okay, you know what's funny? I was talking with a family friend of mine a few weeks ago, and I was telling her, like, oh, yeah, I just watched Mulan because I'm going to be doing it on my podcast. And she's like, okay, hi, Winnie. Hi,
Winnie.
sweetie.
Do you have an opinion on Mulan?
Do you need something you need to get off your chest, girl? So I was telling her that I was watching Mulan for my podcast, and she's like, oh, yeah, I just showed that to my 2-year-old, and she was really scared. I feel like Disney movies used to be a lot scarier.
Boy, howdy. I think so too. And also, like, yeah, those villains particularly are still frightening.
Yeah.
Like, they literally massacre a village and they are not shy about really showing,
No.
like, them going in to do that and then the aftermath of it. And I think that
Totally.
that's brilliant storytelling as well because we don't actually see choreography in fighting until the
Yeah.
end. We don't have, like, any, like, super real fights, really. But we have, just a approaching and then a devastation,
Haunting.
and that is so haunting. The
Oh my God,
doll
yeah.
and like the hand.
Oh, my God. This is a movie for kids.
Also, just like what an impact on like
Yeah.
kind of this fragile concept of femininity as
Yeah.
well, and
Oh,
the idea
God.
of like that kind
Right,
of
honey?
being a surviving piece. You know, it's like such a beautiful image and so haunting and so good and like very
Haunting.
very scary. Scary as a kid, scary as an adult. Whew, woof.
Oh my God,
And they're
seriously.
ruthless. They literally are like send a message to the emperor, tell him that we're coming.
Yeah.
And then he's like kill one of them, and he's like which one? He's just like whatever, and he like goes for it, and it's like whew, man, that's like very
So-
brutal.
so mafia.
Yeah. Once
Yeah.
again, showing of brutality without actually showing fighting.
Yeah.
Very impressive storytelling, incredibly
Totally.
effective, almost to a questionable degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
Too scary.
insane.
Too scary
Almost
for me.
too
Disney.
scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little too scary. Yeah, but quite good.
I agree. Okay, I have a question for you. Which
Ooh.
of these best describes being on testosterone?
Ooh.
Swift as a coursing river, all the force of a great typhoon, the strength of a raging fire, or being mysterious as the dark side of the moon?
Oh man. Okay, I would say that being on testosterone is not as swift as the coursing river.
Okay.
That shit takes time. Also, I would say yes, probably with all the strength of a great typhoon.
Yeah,
Is
totally.
indeed a steroid. We love that.
yeah.
And with all the strength of a raging fire, like yes, also that you
yeah.
also get hot flashes on testosterone. So true.
Oh wow!
Um,
So quite literally, yes.
Indeed.
Wow.
What are we missing?
Mysterious as the dark side of
Well,
the moon.
legislatively, it seems to be.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Not
perfect.
once in there does it say that you need to have a penis to be a man.
That is so true.
And I was like, as a little baby trans boy, you know, trapped
Yeah.
into this like a girl situation, I was just
Yeah.
like, I can do all those things.
You were like, but
I
I
could do all
am
those
as
things.
swift as a coursing river.
Look at me, I'm so fast. I'm very fast.
Look at me. I'm so
strong. I'm so strong. I'm very
The
strong.
strength of a raging fire.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm inherently mysterious. Come on. I was literally like, I meet all the qualifications for
Yes.
boy. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, totally. And you did.
I did, and we did it.
And we did
And
it.
we did it.
We did
We
it.
did- We got to the end. We saved China. No, we did transition though.
Yes,
we
yes.
did transition.
And that is
That is close to the moral.
And you know what? It's the same as saving an entire country,
Basically.
in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, if I could get an entire country to bow to me, a trans person.
Of course. As they should, which is why you should all go buy tickets to the Here to Be comedy tour.
Best plug ever.
Yeah. Give him what
Do
he
you
wants.
want Mulan to be real in the wholesome way that it used to be in the 90s and not the new weird way where it got complicated during the live action? Then you should go to Here to Pee.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, go on Instagram, go on any Meta platform and boost that post, okay?
And also potentially like Mike Pence's review because that is the best thing I have heard all day.
Things could get interesting.
Fantastic.
Things could get interesting. I love
get
that. Ren, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me geek about Mulan.
Oh my God. I am thrilled
Love.
about your enthusiasm. Like I said, you just when you came in here and you were like, oh my God, I'm just ready to go. It made me feel so excited too.
Oh,
I mean, not that I wasn't
hype.
already excited, but I was just like,
Mulan.
thank God I'm not trying to dissect this movie on my own.
As specifically the ADHD trans mass comedian that I am, when you were like, would you like to come in here and be too excited about this Disney movie?
My child's weird obsession. What was the name of that show?
It's that. Me about Mulan. Mulan.
Mulan.
On Mulan. Damn it.
I'm obsessed is the quote.
This was
Ren
fantastic.
Q on Mulan.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such a wonderful podcast.
Thank
To all
you.
y'all listening, thank you for listening and caring about film, caring about the arts.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ren. You're the best. Okay, bye.
Bye.